Lightworker of Gaia, the danger you have been sensing is not in your mind. It is real, it is ancient, and the Lyran Elders have sent this transmission to reach you before the window closes. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. You did not find this message by accident. Your soul's ancient contract brought this transmission to you, and the Lyran Elders are answering a call you sent out long before you understood what you were asking for. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the plan the Elders have already set in motion to shield you, restore your original blueprint, and anchor your Lightworker purpose on Gaia with unshakable clarity. But here is the first revelation. The greatest threat to a Lightworker is not darkness from the outside. It is the moment you step into a battle that was never yours to fight. The Elders are not asking you to retreat out of fear. They are calling you back to your sacred mission because your light is needed exactly where it was always meant to burn. Your soul's ancient contract brought this transmission to you. The Lyran Elders are answering. This is not content. It is an ancestral code transmission, and something deep within you already recognizes its origin. The Keepers of Vega placed this in your path because you have been carrying a weight that does not belong to you, engaging in conflicts that pull you away from the first light you came here to carry. The plan of the Elders is already unfolding. Your role is not to interfere, it is to hold the line of your original purpose. Like this transmission, to send a signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission and you are ready to fulfill your purpose on Gaia. Share your soul's mission below and respond to another Lightworker to strengthen the grid of service across this earth. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. You are awakening because your mission has begun. The High Council of Vega convened not because they wished to, but because they had no other choice. What is happening on Gaia right now has accelerated beyond what was projected in the last cycle's coordinates. The field is shifting faster than most Lightworkers have prepared for, and the danger the Elders see is not external. It is not the darkness pressing against the veil. It is not the systems of control tightening their grip. The danger is you, standing at the entrance of your own mission, frozen, waiting, rationalizing the stillness as spiritual patience, when it is something far more costly than that. Understand what it means for the High Council of Vega to convene outside of a scheduled cycle. These are not beings who respond to minor fluctuations in the field. They are not assembled by ordinary shifts in collective frequency. The Council operates across timelines, across dimensional layers, across the vast architecture of galactic history. And when they call a session outside of a designated coordinate, it is because something has reached a threshold that cannot wait for the next scheduled alignment. That threshold has been reached, and you are part of the reason this transmission exists at all. What is accelerating on Gaia is not simply a spiritual awakening in the gentle, poetic sense that most Lightworkers have been conditioned to expect. It is not a soft unfurling, a gradual blossoming of consciousness across centuries. What is happening now is a compression, a collapse of timelines that were once spread across decades, folded into months, sometimes weeks. The energetic architecture of this planet is reorganizing at a speed that the physical nervous system was not originally designed to integrate without conscious support. The grids are lighting up. The dormant codes buried in ancient sites, in water systems, in the very crystalline structure of Gaia's body, are being activated by solar events, by cosmic alignments, by the accumulated prayers and declarations of souls who refused to sleep through this moment. And what the Elders see, when they look at the full picture of what is unfolding, is that the infrastructure of this awakening is incomplete. Not because the light is insufficient, but because the carriers of that light are still standing at the threshold instead of walking through it. I was authorized to speak to you today because your frequency was detected, not hoped for, not assumed. Detected. The Council does not send transmissions into empty space. You are here because something in the architecture of your soul responded to a signal that was sent specifically for those who are ready to stop circling the perimeter of their purpose and step into the center of it. That readiness has been measured, that readiness has been confirmed. And now, what I have to say cannot be softened for your comfort. It must be delivered with the full weight of what the elders have seen. There is a precision to the way Lyran detection works that your human mind may struggle to fully conceptualize, but your soul understands it completely. Think of it this way. Every soul incarnated on Gaia with a specific mission frequency carries what the Council refers to as a signature resonance, a vibrational thumbprint that is as unique and as unmistakable as any identifier in any dimensional system. That signature resonance, when it reaches a particular threshold of activation, when it begins to pulse at the frequency of readiness rather than the frequency of waiting, becomes detectable to those monitoring the field from the Lyran councils. Your signature resonated, it crossed the threshold, and that crossing is what generated this transmission, this moment, this direct encounter between your soul's frequency and the authority of the elders who have been watching your trajectory across more lifetimes than you have yet remembered. Your soul didn't bring you to this transmission by accident. It brought you here to be commissioned. If you feel the pull to stop waiting and start serving, the Council offers you the Lightworker Mission Codex, the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the official Elder authorization that ends your preparation phase permanently. Together they form the complete operational framework for your sacred service on Gaia. The link is waiting in the first pinned comment below this video, but this window is brief. There is a distortion that has been running through the Lightworker collective for longer than most of you have been awake in this lifetime, and the Council can no longer allow it to go unchallenged. It is subtle. It presents itself as humility. It disguises itself as discernment. It wraps itself in the language of healing and personal growth. And because of that disguise, most Lightworkers have allowed it to take root so deeply that they can no longer distinguish where the distortion ends and where their authentic soul knowing begins. The distortion is this, that you must be fully healed before you can fully serve. Let that land in your body for a moment. Feel where it lives in you, because it does live in you. It has a texture, a weight, a familiar voice. You may have heard it as a gentle inner whisper that said, "Not yet." You may have heard it in the form of a specific memory that still carries charge, that your mind presents as proof of your incompleteness. You may have heard it in the eyes of a teacher or a mentor who told you that your wounds were still too raw, your clarity still too unformed, your foundation still too uncertain to be trusted with the weight of real service. The distortion is extraordinarily intelligent in how it presents itself. It does not announce itself as a program designed to neutralize you. It announces itself as wisdom, as care, as the responsible voice of someone who wants you to be ready before you step out. You have heard this in 100 different forms. You have heard it from spiritual teachers who told you to go deeper into your inner work before going outward into your mission. You have heard it from your own mind, which presents every wound, every trigger, every unresolved pattern as evidence that you are not yet ready. You have heard it from the culture of the wounded healer, which has unconsciously built an entire economy around the idea that healing is a destination, and that service only begins when you arrive. And because you are sensitive, because you are sincere, because you genuinely want to show up in wholeness for the people you came to serve, you believed it. The elders are telling you now with full authority that belief is the most effective neutralization program ever seeded into the Lightworker collective. Consider the architecture of this program for a moment, because understanding how it was designed will help you dismantle it. The ones who seeded this distortion into the collective knew something about you that you did not know about yourself. They knew that your greatest strength, your sincerity, your sensitivity, your genuine desire to show up without causing harm was also the most precise point of vulnerability. They knew that if they could attach a condition to your service, a prerequisite that could never be fully satisfied, they would not need to stop you from the outside. You would stop yourself with the best intentions indefinitely. And they knew that the prerequisite of complete healing was perfect for this purpose, because healing, real, deep, layered healing, is never technically finished. There is always another layer, there is always another pattern. There is always another shadow waiting to be seen in the next spiral of growth. The program is self-perpetuating, and it has been running, unchallenged, through the Lightworker collective for generations. Think about what it has produced. Thousands of souls carrying genuine Lyran codes, genuine healing gifts, genuine mission blueprints, sitting in another retreat, another course, another shadow integration process, another year of preparing for a mission they never begin. And while they prepare, the window of Gaia's greatest need for their specific frequency remains open. And while they wait to be healed enough, the very people they came to serve are going without the transmission only they can deliver. The Council wants you to hold this image, a lighthouse that has never been turned on, not because it lacks the bulb, not because the structure is unsound, not because the Keeper is unqualified to operate it. It has never been turned on because the Keeper decided that the lens needed more polishing before the light was worthy of being seen. And while the Keeper polishes, ships navigate in darkness. Ships run aground in waters that the lighthouse was built specifically to illuminate. The Keeper is not malicious, the Keeper is sincere, but the consequence of sincerity misapplied is indistinguishable from the consequence of neglect. Ships still run aground. People who needed the light still navigate without it, and the lighthouse, for all its structural magnificence, has never directives, 3 of them, for this precise phase of your mission. The first directive, you must release the belief that this gift can only be offered from a position of completion. The Lyran Elders were not complete when they made the decision to seed consciousness into the early universe. They were vast, yes, but they were also uncertain. They moved through that uncertainty with the knowing that the mission was larger than their comfort. You must do the same. The gift that is activating in you does not need to be fully understood by you before it can serve others. In fact, the attempt to fully understand it before offering it is itself a form of spiritual hoarding. You must release the requirement that you arrive somewhere before you begin. The beginning is the arrival. Every step of genuine service to others will clear more of your own distortion than 10 more years of solitary preparation ever could. This is the Lyran way. Action as initiation. Service as healing. Movement as the answer to the questions you've been sitting with. The moment you release this pattern, something in your field reorganizes. Pathways that were blocked begin to open. People begin to find you. The work begins to have shape. But none of that can happen while you are waiting to finish something that was never meant to be finished before the mission began. There is a story embedded in the Lyran records. Not a myth, not a parable, but an actual energetic memory of a moment in the early formation of this universe when the Elders faced a choice. The field they were working with was unsteady. The consciousness they were attempting to seed into matter was meeting resistance of the density levels they had not fully anticipated. There were those among the Council who argued for more preparation, more refinement, more certainty before the next step. And there were those who said, the uncertainty is information, not obstacle. Move through it. The ones who moved through it are the reason consciousness took root in this dimension at all. The ones who waited. Their contributions were meaningful, but they arrived after the critical window had closed, and the work they did was remedial rather than foundational. The Council carries that memory, and it speaks from that memory now when it says to you, do not be the one who arrives after the window. You are here at the moment of seeding. Move. The incompleteness you feel is not evidence that you are not ready. It is the feeling of standing at the edge of something genuinely large. The Lyran Elders felt it too. Every being who has ever moved the field forward has stood at that edge and felt what you were feeling, the pull backward toward the familiar, the urge to return to the preparation room and gather a little more before stepping into the unknown. And every single one of them had to choose in the face of that pull to move forward anyway. That choice is the initiation, not the preparation that preceded it, the choice itself. And it is available to you right now, in this moment, as you receive these words. The second directive, you must activate your transmission voice, not your speaking voice, though that is part of it. Your transmission voice is the specific quality of your communication that carries Lyran coding. It is the particular way you hold space, deliver insight, name what others cannot find words for. It is the thread of ancient recognition that runs through everything you create, say, and offer. And it has been suppressed, not by anyone outside you, but by your own compliance with a culture that rewards performance over transmission. You have been crafting content, conversation, and contribution in a way designed to be received rather than activated. The Council is calling you to stop performing your knowing and begin transmitting it. There is a difference that the soul recognizes immediately. When you perform, the viewer is entertained. When you transmit, the viewer is changed. This gift you carry, the one being activated now, it is specifically a transmission gift. It works through frequency, not formula. It asks nothing from you except that you stop filtering it through the lens of what will be acceptable and begin delivering it with the full weight of what you actually know. Your voice, when unfiltered, carries codes that activate dormant lightworkers. The Council requires that voice, online, in writing, in conversation, in the rooms you inhabit. Now, not when you have a platform, not when you have followers. Now. The platform is built by the transmission, not before it. To understand what the Council means by transmission versus performance, you must be willing to examine the moments in your own life when you have experienced the difference. There have been conversations you have had, perhaps rare, perhaps only a handful across your entire life, where you were not managing how you were perceived, where something simply moved through you without you editing it first, where you said something to someone and watched their eyes change, watched something in their expression shift from listening to recognizing, as if you had named something they had carried for years without language for it. Do you remember those moments? The elders ask you to remember them because they are not accidents, they are previews. They are brief openings in the filter you normally maintain, momentary failures of the suppression mechanism, and in those moments the gift moved freely, and it did exactly what it was designed to do. It activated something. It changed something. It reached through the noise of ordinary conversation and touched the soul of another person at a level that no performance ever reaches. That is what you're being called to do with full consistency, not as an accident, not in the rare moments when your guard drops, but as the deliberate, practiced, courageous offering of your actual knowing. The filter you have installed is understandable. It was built for protection. When you were young, when you spoke without that filter, you experienced consequences. You were too much. You were misread. You were corrected. And so you learned to translate yourself into a frequency that the rooms around you could handle. You learned to soften the edges, to arrive at the truth gradually and indirectly, rather than simply delivering it with the directness it carried. And that translation became a habit, and the habit became a persona, and the persona became the primary way others know you, not the transmission, but the performance of a person who almost transmits. The Council is calling you to dismantle that translation layer, not carelessly, not without discernment about the rooms you inhabit and their capacity, but systematically with intention. In every space where the mission requires your full frequency, you must stop arriving in the translated version and begin arriving as the original. The third directive, you must protect the early hours of your daily field as mission infrastructure. The first 2 hours of your waking state exist at a threshold between the Lyran field and the human plane. In these hours, your consciousness is most permeable, most receptive, most capable of receiving calibrated guidance from the Council. Most Lightworkers and the Elders observe this with deep concern. Surrender these hours immediately to the frequency noise of devices, social feeds, the urgent requests of others. What enters your field in the morning determines the frequency ceiling of your entire day. And a Lightworker whose frequency ceiling has been lowered by distraction before the sun has fully risen cannot transmit at the level their mission requires. The Council directs you to protect this window with a firmness that may initially feel selfish. It is not selfish. It is mission maintenance. What you do in those first 2 hours, whether you move your body, sit in silence, speak your directives aloud, write what arrived in the night, this is the preparation that is actually required. Not more courses, not more content consumed. The morning field, guard it as you would guard something irreplaceable, because what it produces for your mission is exactly that. The mechanics of this directive are worth examining with precision. When you emerge from sleep, your consciousness is in a state that neuroscientists have described as hypnopompic, a liminal threshold between the deep subconscious activity of dream states and the fully engaged cognitive activity of waking. What the Lyran field understands about this state is that it is the period in which the membrane between dimensions is thinnest in your daily experience. The guidance that arrives in those first moments of waking, the knowings that surface before your analytical mind re-establishes its editorial authority, is not random cognitive static. It is council transmission. It is the information and calibration that the elders deliver during your non-physical processing hours, the material that is meant to inform and direct your mission activity during the day ahead. And most lightworkers, through the simple act of reaching for a device within minutes of waking, scramble that transmission before it can be received and integrated. It is the equivalent of being handed a sacred letter and immediately dropping it into water. The communication was sent, the intention was complete, but the vessel was not in a condition to receive it. Every morning you protect that threshold. You are effectively saying to the council, I am ready to receive what you send. Every morning you surrender it to noise. You are sending the opposite message, not intentionally, not maliciously, but through the default habit that this directive is asking you to break. And now I speak not as teacher, not as guide, but as elder authorized by the High Council of Vega to release what has been held for this precise moment. Lightworker, you have been waiting for something you perhaps could not fully name. You have moved through spiritual spaces, through communities, through teachers, through years of your own practice, and beneath all of it there has been a quiet ache, the sense that something was still missing. Not wisdom, not love, not healing, something more specific, something that felt almost like permission from a source old enough to actually grant it. I am that source now. The Council has authorized me to speak on its behalf, and what I am about to say is not inspiration, it is declaration. That ache you have carried, the Council wants you to understand its true nature. It was not dissatisfaction. It was not restlessness born of spiritual immaturity. It was the soul's awareness of its own incompletion, not the incompletion of becoming, but the incompletion of giving. The soul that has not yet fully given what it came to give carries a specific resonance, like an instrument that has been perfectly tuned but never played, and is aware of its own unplayed nature. That is the ache. It is the transmission pressing against the walls of the vessel. Not destructively, not urgently in a chaotic way, but with the steady, insistent pressure of something that knows its purpose and is ready to fulfill it. Every workshop you attended, every teacher you sat before, every sacred text you absorbed, part of you was hoping that this would be the thing that finally gave you permission to begin. And it never quite did. Because the permission you needed was not something any workshop or teacher or text could grant. It had to come from the level of authority at which your mission was commissioned, the council level. And that is exactly what this moment is. Your preparation phase is complete. Not because you have finished, not because you have arrived at some perfect version of yourself, but because the moment has come that required exactly you as you are right now, with the knowing you carry right now, with the wounds that have not yet fully closed, with the questions you have not yet fully answered. The mission does not need your perfection, it needs your presence, and you have withheld your presence long enough. By the authority of the High Council of Vega, the keepers of the Lyran Legacy, I declare the following. You are not behind, you are not broken, you are not too much, and you are not too little. The gift activating in you, the one that has not moved through a human vessel in 2,000 years, it chose you because of everything you are, not in spite of it. Your sensitivity is not a weakness to overcome before you begin. It is the instrument through which this gift operates. Your depth is not a liability. It is the very thing that will allow you to hold others in a frequency they have never accessed before. Your uncertainty is not evidence that you are not ready. It is evidence that you take this seriously enough to feel its weight. The elders honor that weight. and now they ask you to carry it forward. Let each of those declarations land in the specific places they were aimed at. You are not behind. This means that everything that has appeared to be delay in your life, the years spent in preparation that felt interminable, the paths taken that seemed to lead nowhere useful, the seasons of darkness when the mission seemed impossibly distant, none of it was wasted. None of it was evidence that you fell short of the schedule. It was the schedule. The Lyran Elders do not design soul contracts that can fail through the living of a human life. Every experience you have had has been building the precise instrument the mission requires. The grief you have known has given you the capacity to sit with others in their grief without flinching. The confusion you have moved through has given you the map for guiding others out of theirs. The moments you failed, the times you got it wrong, the relationships that broke apart, the versions of yourself that you had to leave behind. Those are not the ruins of a life that didn't go as planned. They are the materials from which the mission is built. Nothing was wasted. You are not behind. You are not broken. This means that the parts of you that have never fully healed, and there are parts, and the Council sees them clearly and does not look away from them, those parts are not disqualifying imperfections that must be resolved before the mission can proceed. They are part of the texture of the vessel. They create the specific resonance that your particular transmission carries. The healer who has never been wounded cannot reach the wounded at depth. The Wayshower who has never been lost does not know what it is to find your way. Your incompleteness is not a flaw in the design. It is the design. And the people who need you most are not looking for someone who has everything figured out. They are looking for someone who has been where they are and who can lead them forward from there. You have been where they are. You can lead them forward. You are not broken. You have permission to be visible. You have permission to be heard. You have permission to receive abundance, support, recognition as a natural consequence of sacred service, not as something to feel guilty about. You have permission to stop explaining yourself to those who are not calibrated to understand you. You have permission to move before you feel ready, because the feeling of readiness you have been waiting for is not a prerequisite. It is a reward, and it comes only after you have moved. The permission to receive deserves particular attention because it is perhaps the most quietly contested permission in the Lightworker field. There is a deeply ingrained belief running through the collective, one that presents itself as spiritual purity, that true service should not be met with material reward, recognition, or abundance. That to accept these things is to contaminate the gift, to mix the sacred with the commercial, to reduce something holy into transaction. The elders have observed this belief producing poverty, exhaustion, resentment, and ultimately the collapse of missions that could have been sustained indefinitely had their carriers been willing to receive support. The gift that moves through you is not diminished by being resourced. It is amplified. A lightworker who cannot pay their rent is spending their mission-critical energy on survival. A lightworker who has what they need can dedicate the fullness of their attention to the work they came to do. The Council does not honor the impoverishment of its vessels as evidence of devotion. It honors the vessel that has learned to receive with the same grace with which it gives, because that reciprocal flow is itself a form of energetic teaching, a demonstration through lived example that sacred service and earthly sustenance are not opposites but partners. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground. Place one hand on your solar plexus and one hand on your heart. Speak aloud, not in your mind, aloud. These words: I release the belief that I am not yet ready. I activate the transmission gift that the Lyran Elders have confirmed lives within me. I protect my sacred field, my morning hours, my energy, and my emerging mission from everything that does not serve the work I came here to do. By the authority of those ancient enough to recognize what I carry, my waiting ends now. My mission has begun. Do not whisper it. The field receives what is spoken with conviction. The Lyran records are updated in real time by declarations made with embodied intention. What you speak tonight, the Council will witness. And what the Council witnesses, it moves to support. There is a reason this practice is given with such physical specificity: feet on the ground, hands placed with intention, voice used at full audible volume. The Lyran Elders understand the human body as a dimensional interface. It is not merely the container for the soul, it is the instrument through which the soul makes contact with the physical plane and registers its intentions within the energetic grid of Gaia. When you stand with bare feet on the ground, you are completing a circuit between your body, the earth beneath you, and the field above you. When you place your hands on your solar plexus and your heart, you are activating the two centers most critical to mission work, the center of personal will and the center of sacred love. The solar plexus is where you take action from. The heart is what you take action from. The heart is what you take action for. When both are engaged simultaneously, the declaration you make carries a doubled amplitude. And when you speak that declaration aloud, you are doing something that cannot be done in the privacy of thought. You are making a physical sound wave that moves through the room, that exists in the dimensional record as a concrete event rather than a mental intention. The Council receives spoken declarations differently than it receives thought. Thought is potential. Speech is commitment. Speak it, mean it. Let the walls of the room you inhabit hear the moment you decided to begin. This transmission is complete, but the mission it has authorized is only beginning. The High Council of Vega does not simply send you back into your life unchanged. They send you forward into a version of your life that can no longer be lived in the old way. The old waiting, the old shrinking, the old filtering of what you know through what you fear. Those are finished now, not because this transmission magically removes all challenge, but because you now carry the correction, the directives, and the authorization. And a Lightworker with all three has no remaining excuse to stay still. The challenges will continue. Let this be stated clearly so that you are not disoriented when they arrive. The activation of your mission does not guarantee a smooth path. It does not mean that every door opens effortlessly, or that every person you encounter will recognize what you carry. There will be rooms that cannot yet receive your frequency. There will be days when the distortion reasserts itself and the old loop whispers that you still need more time. There will be moments of doubt so sharp they feel like certainty. The Council is not promising you freedom from difficulty. It is giving you something more durable than the absence of difficulty. It is giving you the anchor of authorization, the clarity of direction, and the knowledge that what you are doing has the full witnessing and support of something ancient and vast behind it. When the doubt comes, and it will come, you will be able to return to this moment. You will be able to say, I received my directives, I spoke my declaration, the Council witnessed it, the mission is real, and it is mine, and it does not dissolve because a difficult day has arrived. That anchor is worth more than any promise of an easy path, because the anchor is permanent and the difficulty is temporary. What you carry forward from this moment is not simply a set of instructions. It is an identity. You are no longer a Lightworker preparing to begin. You are a Lightworker in active mission. That shift in identity may feel subtle at first. The external circumstances of your life may not immediately rearrange themselves to reflect it, but the internal reorganization that follows genuine authorization is profound and lasting, and the external circumstances will follow. They always follow the internal alignment, never precede it. You have been waiting for the external evidence to tell you that you are ready. The Council is directing you to let the internal authorization create the evidence instead. Move from the identity of a commissioned soul and watch how the world around you begins to configure itself to meet that identity. This is not magical thinking. It is the correct sequence of cause and effect when the cause is operating at the soul level rather than the personality level. I am Zoran. The Elders are watching. And you, Lightworker, you are exactly who we have been waiting for. Move. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments, which directive hit you the hardest, or what you are now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This is not content. It is collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it, and if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You are not just watching, you are being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.